Hey everybody, and welcome to the official ABC podcast for V. I'm joined this week by one of our newest additions to the cast, the Alpha V. He doesn't say all that much, but he does provide some pretty interesting research fodder for one Dr. Sidney Miller.
I named him Alpha. Dr. Sid Miller is researching V's even before he meets the fifth column, but what happens is he decides to let them in on a little secret of his own and takes them and shows them what essentially is a V skeleton. Sid never thought that the V's were bad or anything like that, but after discovering the fifth column and getting insight from them and connecting the dots, he slowly becomes a part of the team. What the hell was that? I think Sid is kind of the eyes and ears of the audience. He is the audience in a way. You're going to Sid for reactions and you're going to Sid for comedic relief. When all this stuff is going on and you don't really necessarily know what's going on, the DNA and this and that or whatever the hell they're talking about, he is that voice saying, what? A visitor? What?
Anna's a lizard? That sucks. She's so hot.
Now, the Alpha V looks delicate, but it's actually a series of fiberglass and epoxy pieces that were custom sculpted by our incredible special effects makeup department. But the Alpha V is just the beginning of the amazing work that they do. Check it out.
My name's Toby Lindelah. I do the prosthetics for V with my company, Schminken Collective Group. What we have here is an assembly of pieces that we've made for the show, everything from the pilot, coming up through some of the first season and now into the second. In this scene, Anna comes up and she's reprimanding the captains of the various ships that got around the world, and this guy had been captain of the ship that's flying over France, and she reprimands him heavily and comes down on him with her tail, lashes out and cleaves his head open. She lifts him up by his hair off the ground and tears back his skin, revealing more of the alien underneath. This was glued on to the actor that played the French captain for everything leading up to his demise. And then we took him aside for a 3-hour makeup, in which we glued on first a vac form plate that's got the alien skin underneath it, and then these foam latex appliances. There's 3 appliances in total. There's skin that's ruptured over top, and then there's ventilated hair pieces on top as well, and an eyebrow. He didn't really know what was coming. We kind of told him he had it easy. In some ways he did, yeah, it's a little bit challenging, having motors moving stuff around on your face and you're jammed into there in your own sweat for extended periods of time. But it was wonderful shooting this and yeah, seeing all the elements come back together and the performance and context of the entire scene.
It's time now for our fan question of the week. This week's question comes from Johnny in Tacoma, Washington, who asks Jane Badler, what's the biggest difference between shooting the original V series in the 1980s and shooting the new show now?
I don't ever remember working in front of a green screen. I remember like being in the spaceship and having to go, like pretending things were coming at me. But I never worked in front of a green screen. My first day on the show here, I must say that I found it a little disconcerting to be on an empty stage where everything was projected into it and I saw nothing. And I found myself acting as if I was on a stage, like an actress with an audience. And the director had to keep saying, Jane, it's television. I said, oh yeah, that's right. Because I had no props, I had nothing. That's kind of a weird thing. But then you realize after a while you just behave the way you always behave. It doesn't change really the way you behave. It's just that there's nothing there.
Thanks for your question, Johnny. And to all of you out there, please keep them coming. We love getting questions from you. Our email address is vfanquestions@abc.com. You can watch weekly installments of the V Podcast at abc.com. It's also available on iTunes. Just search for Official V Podcast. And don't forget to catch new episodes of V Tuesday nights at 9/8 Central, only on ABC. I hope you've enjoyed this official ABC podcast for V. I'm Scott Wolf, and on behalf of the Alpha V, we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.